while. Thanks to the heat of battle... Is this all one chapter? I mean, I kind of want to get a nice stopping point eventually, but we'll see. Thanks to the heat of battle that was unfolding in the gymnasium, Mukuro Ikasawa was able to buy more time than she had imagined. As soon as she entered the nurse's office, she rummaged around for medical supplies and did what she could to stop the bleeding. Though still quite shallow, Makoto's breathing slowly stabilized. Mukuro let out a little sigh of relief. However, even though she was somehow able to stop the bleeding, she wasn't out of the woods yet. Yeah, they repurposed the blood from Yamada for Makoto, apparently. Miraculously enough, it seemed like none of Makoto's major arteries or organs were damaged. It's like he's lucky or something. Was this perhaps thanks to his ultimate luck? Or maybe he wasn't actually all that lucky. After all, the only sort of medical treatment he could hope for was partial at best. Mukuro couldn't decide. If only I could do a blood transfusion. The nurse's office should have had several blood packs for transfusions. Mukuro suspected that Makoto's blood type might be written in his e-handbook, but as she reached over to search his pockets... I see... What the... Oh, fuck. I see you're reaching for a sleeping boy's clothes. What in the world is about to happen next? Adults can keep playing, but you kids better press the B button, okay? Boo-hoo-hoo! Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Exclamation point. Mukuro turned towards that familiar voice and saw Monokuma standing before her. We're all alone with Makoto right now. Just think of me as a cute wild animal and let your lust lead the way. As the headmaster, I must prevent any illicit sexual relationships, but physical education classes are just fine, missy. That's right, I must be a gentleman. Just call me Bill Clinton. Though he looked just like the one that was at the gym, it was clearly a different Monokuma. His belly button was grew 3 sizes that day. Multiple Monokumas had been placed throughout the entire academy, so it wasn't a stretch for him to suddenly appear out of nowhere. Regardless, the same person was controlling all of them. Mukuro had been wary of Monokuma attacking her while she was treating Makoto's wounds, but his appearance at this particular moment seemed to take her by surprise. Junko? Asked Mukuro cautiously. Monokuma tilted his head along with his entire upper body inquisitively. Junko? Who's that? Junko? I've never heard of that country before. Jun-ko? What the fuck is a ko? No more jokes. Answer me, Junko. You were planning to kill me earlier, right? Junko this, Junko that. What's your problem? I'm telling you, I'm Monokuma. You must be a big disappointment if you can't even remember something like that. You're not a disappointment as a person. You're a disappointment as a sister, too. You're too skinny, and your brain is nothing but muscles, and your personality is just unbearable. I'm sorry, said Mukuro. She didn't need to apologize, but hearing her little sister call her a disappointment yet again was enough to make the ultimate soldier recoil. Oh, it's one of these fucking relationships. Fuck you, Junko. Monokuma ignored her and her current situation, climbed on top of Makoto's barely breathing body, and began poking his cheeks. What kind of cheeks we talking about? So what are you gonna do with Makoto now? I'm really interested in human mating habits, you know. What are you? Asked Mukuro before trailing off. Monokuma lowered his tone and began whispering into her ear. Poo-hoo-hoo! Makoto's a pretty nice guy, huh? He even sacrificed himself to save you. He's so generous that it's actually hopeless. Poo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! He's just got such a hopelessly tight little ass. He's not dead yet, insisted Mukuro. Despite her firm tone, like Makoto's firm body, she couldn't hide the fear lingering in her voice. Boo-hoo-hoo! It's the most disappointing thing about you. You can't even say, I won't let him die. We gotta save that kind of catchphrase for another edgy character down the line. I won't let him die, Junko. Mukuro could barely get a word in as Monokuma erupted into poo-hoo-hoos and ah-ha-has and continued to torment her. Torment! Just call me Obelisk the Titty Twister. As if you could do that. Too bad, no regrets. See you tomorrow. Wahahaha! Is this all because Makoto was the first person to smile at you? You, a disappointing, depressing, unladylike, and human-killing machine! Despite denying that he was Junko, Monokuma began speaking at length about Mukuro's past. This contradiction was very much like Junko, and Mukuro was so shaken that all she could do was watch the bear prattle on and on. Oh, man. Poor Mukuro, man. Oh, man. Only the fit survive in this world. The only thing that kind-hearted people can do is die, you know. As proof, you're gonna watch Makoto die really soon. Poo-hoo-hoo. He won't die. Mukuro's tone of voice had become irregular ever since she took off her Junko wig. What do you mean that's her source of power? Aside from her conversation with Makoto, everything she said as Junko was from a script her sister had written. But now, there was no script for Mukuro to rely on anymore. Mukuro was treating Monokuma like she would treat her own sister. If the other students saw her acting so weak, they'd never believe she was the same person who fought soccer in the gym. And not just that, if anyone from her mercenary past could see her now, her stark change in attitude might make them think she was someone else entirely. Oh, my stark personality, I don't feel so good. Monokuma continued to rail against Mukuro. Nope, he's going to die. I know it's sad, but you just gotta face the facts. Monokuma wriggled his limbs and danced around, and then pointed right at Mukuro's face. Do a little dance and make a little love, because Makoto is going to die by your hands. Huh? Infighting among the terrorists. The big bad terrorist silences the weak-willed Makoto before he can leak any information. Doesn't that happen all the time? In the end, all the desperate things you said in the gym turned out to be lies you told just to escape. Poo-hoo-hoo. Mukuro frowned at Monokuma. You can't do that, Junko. I won't let you do that. As she blurted out those words in a trembling voice, Mukuro was gripped with confusion about what she had just said. Am I defying Junko right now? Why? It was a strange feeling. To Mukuro, it was like she was standing on the ledge of a tall building, imagining what would happen if she jumped. A destructive feeling, akin to holding a friend's baby and wondering what would happen if you tripped and fell. What the fuck kind of metaphor is this? But before she knew it, fear and anxiety had suddenly taken control of Mukuro's heart. As a member of Fenrir, and as an ultimate despair, Mukuro has killed innumerable people. She had handled live grenades before. I'm Grenade Man! She had descended from the sky in a parachute. She has killed parakeets, has anti-aircraft weaponry fired all around here. Her heart had never wavered on the battlefield, but now it felt like it could collapse at any second. Love will bloom on the battlefield. War has changed, you see. Monokuma, however, was as stable as a tree, and slightly tilted his head onto the side. Huh? Weren't you listening to my story? I'm not the one who's gonna kill Makoto. You are. What are you saying, Junko? Monokuma began giving a strange explanation to a very confused Mukuro. Do you know what the suspension bridge effect really means? It means you push the person you love off a bridge, and they'll be yours for eternity. Sounds like a bad Valentine's horror movie. I haven't heard that at all. Life doesn't always follow what your textbooks say. It's sad, but that's what love is. His words made no sense, and Mukuro couldn't think of anything to say as she stood there dumbfounded. Meanwhile, Monokuma continued his little speech, intentionally saying things meant to antagonize Mukuro. Basically, this is your big chance, you know? If you kill Makoto right here, right now, nobody will ever take him away from you again. Right here, right on. Makoto Naegi, dead by dawn. Pulls out a knife, like this, like that, like this, like that. The last name he ever spoke was Mukuro Ikusaba. The last person he ever smiled at was Mukuro Ikusaba. Doesn't that sound wonderful? See you, Leon. Just remember, if you want to get updates on when I stream again, I post a link on my Twitter. Join my Discord as well to get the constant updates. And yeah, love to see you again, man. Take care. There was a certain appeal to Monokuma's twisted suggestion, and Mukuro found herself unsure of her own judgment. This is wrong. It has to be wrong. But it's really Junko saying all this, so doesn't that mean it's right? It feels so wrong with her so right. No, this isn't Junko. It's Monokuma. Monokuma, 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 fucking Monokuma. And are you sure you want to help Makoto? Once he gets better, he's gonna know everything. You'll know what you did to your classmates. I can't believe you would actually erase your friends' memories of their time together and force them to kill each other. Makoto might get mad at you and say, our real enemy isn't the bear, it's her. Do you really want him to blame you for this? Mukuro's face turned paler than it already is. Pooh-hoo-hoo. Or are you going to kill the others? If everyone else except you and Makoto dies, you'll be able to spend the rest of your school life together. We can't hold a class trial with only 2 people. It might be a good idea for both of you to live the rest of your lives in the academy together. That's right, you and him, and your children, and your children's Ew! No, that's wrong, And what are you gonna do if these memories return? It's not like you were dating Makoto or anything. You just watched as he fucked a lot of women! Man, you're shy. You can shoot people's hearts and brains no problem, but you can't even woo some stupid boy into liking you. Do you want to know who Makoto had a crush on before his memories were taken away? Mukuro trembled as Monokuma continued pressing the issue, gradually loosening the screws, keeping her heart secure. So Mukuro chose to pretend she didn't hear anything at all. All emotions. That was another thing too, and all the pictures at the end of like the normal story, she would always look at Makoto, right? Oh boy. All emotion vanished from her face, and she looked silently from Makoto's e-handbook. If you're looking for his blood type, it's not written in the handbook. Mukuro's face turned pale. Within 5 seconds, yeah, that's something to put in later. Within 5 seconds, her plan to ignore Monokuma had already failed. But since your headmaster is made up of 50% kindness and 50% hot gas and also 50% sadness and 50% sexiness and also the inability to do math, I'll tell you anyway. Makoto's blood type is B. Do we trust this? As soon as she heard him say that. All the anxiety, horror, hostility, malice, and dread churning within Mukuro had completely vanished. Isn't there also another thing you could do? Like, there's one blood type. Is it O? Where it's actually, like, universal. So, like, if you need blood transfusions, you can just give that to anyone. Thank you, Junko. Mukuro's eyes sparkled without a hint of suspicion. Don't do it, you crazy. You don't do it, you stupid girl. So she's turned her back to Monokuma without a hint of suspicion. Walked towards the refrigerator containing the blood packs. Don't do it. Fresh blood packs should have been prepared before the plan took effect. Just fucking Capri Sun, damn it. The last in the cold storage for 21 days, they should still be good. Despite her emotionless face, Mukuro let herself feel a small amount of satisfaction as she took a blood pack from the refrigerator. It hurts to smile, living as existence is pain. Common blood type, negatives are a bit rare. As Monokuma watched her, his normally motionless eyes switched ever so slightly. If a third party could see his face right now, or even if the other students could see his face right now, they would wonder, is Monokuma surprised? That's right. They'd have the same shocked look on their faces as if they were seeing Monokuma for the first time. At that moment, a whisper crept out of Monokuma's emotionless face. There should be a limit to how disappointing you could be. It was far quieter than a mosquito's wings. Gonta would be proud, but he doesn't exist yet. Even with her battle-hardened hearing, Mukuro couldn't hear what he said. Monokuma shook his head. Someone needs to get some extracurricular lessons on fucking common sense. And the voice returned to normal. It's not like I care that you, the ultimate despair, has hope in anything. It's not like I expected much from you to begin with, so this will at least help me feel despair. Question mark? But seriously, you disappoint me. Just so you know, despair and disappointment are completely different things, okay? They're as different as bears and pandas. What are you... Monokuma's body started to shake as she turned back to look at Monokuma. He hadn't started talking any differently from usual. Junko hadn't turned off the voice modulator and started talking in a real voice or anything. Yet Mukuro was utterly terrified. She was terrified on instinct, not as a soldier. half the reason she was terrified was because of her instincts as the ultimate despair. And the other half was because she was Junko's older sister. Even through Monokuma, her instincts were telling her that Junko was annoyed by her. Junko? Why are you annoyed? Is it because I betrayed you? It's because I didn't die like you wanted me to. Ugh! Sulked Monokuma. I'm beyond annoyed! I'm really, really angry! I'm really, really disappointed right now! I hate! I'm so pissed! I could take a rage nap right now! I could piss all over you if that's what you want! Monokuma's anger didn't seem any different from his usual anger towards the students, but Mukuro could instinctively sense another emotion mixed with it. What did you miss? Well, Mukuro and Makoto. Mukuro's trying to save Makoto by giving him a blood transfusion. He is talking to Monokuma. Monokuma as Junko. Junko is an emotionally abusive older sister. Also physically, but not in this timeline. And really, he's just messing with Mukuro at this point. Mukuro is just very Mikan-esque. Right now, she could feel that Junko was feeling hopeless disappointment. It's normal for someone who's disappointed to lose hope, but for ultimate despair, disappointment means something else entirely. To them, disappointment was tantamount to losing despair itself. Mukuro was a member of ultimate despair. At her sister's behest, Mukuro had soiled her hands many times in order to fill the world with despair. She would soil her ass. She would soil her underwear to feel despair. It's a very common tactic among them, very smelly. Despite her pride towards being a member of the ultimate despair, there was a clear difference between Mukuro and her sister besides her hair color. Junko Inoshima was despair incarnate. She was born in despair, letting it infect other people's hopes so it could rot from the inside out, twisting them into her own image. Her vagina also eats people. For Junko, feeling hope was its own despair. Creating despair in others created despair in herself, which caused her to feel both intense pain and intense bliss. Junko had walked the fracture created from the conflict between pleasure and penance all of her life. Eventually, the fracture would widen until it swallowed the whole, whatever that world, and tore it in half. But Mukuro, on the other hand, had neither hope nor despair for the world. She just did what her fucking little sister told her to. At least, not when she was a member of Fenrir. Ever since she was a child, Mukuro believed she was meant to spread fucking despair because of her fucking sister. She didn't harbor any ill will toward the world. She simply accepted she was meant to spread despair, and chose to walk the same path as his sister. The doubt she felt was only a recent development. When Junko told her about the plan, when she watched the world burn at the hands of terrorists wearing Monokuma masks, she never wavered once. Now she will actually create a personality for herself. I was born in despair, molded by it. Also, have you ever heard the tragedy of doth disparage the wise? However, as soon as she heard about the sisters' plan to make their classmates kill each other, Makoto included, a strange feeling began to stir within her. What started as a seed of doubt soon grew into a thorny vine, ensnaring Mukuro's feet. As soon as she disguised herself as Junko and finished meeting the other students, as soon as she confirmed that everyone's memories had been completely taken away, that vine began tightening around Mukuro's heart. They're gone. Junko's the only one who knows about me now. That's it. But that's no problem. It's just like old times. Things will never go back to how they used to be, but that's fine. This should be fine. She had relinquished the past 2 years she had spent with her friends so she could betray them and deliver death and despair upon them. Though her heart ached, Mukuro was beyond feeling guilt or remorse for her actions. But the question, why does my heart ache like this, still remains unanswered. This is awesome? Well, dude, this is made by the official developers. Like, this is by Spike Chunsoft. I believe, well, I'm not sure who wrote it, but it's officially by Spike Chunsoft. Like, the guys who make Danganronpa. It's included in Danganronpa 2 as an extra side story after you beat the main game. So, yeah. Perhaps that's why she spent so much time talking to Makoto when she was in the nurse's office. And when Makoto gave her that one particular answer, something changed inside her. In return, I promise that if I do decide to kill someone, it won't be you. It won't be you. That's, yeah, me as Junko. The words Mukuro blurted out to Makoto weren't improvised to further her role as Junko. It was an honest sentiment from the bottom of her heart. She was even planning to ask Junko herself if Makoto could somehow be spared from the plan. Over the past 2 years, Mukuro's interest had been slowly shifting away from her sister and towards the world itself. The grass is greener somewhere else, that's right. By extension, her interests also included Makoto, the first person to ever smile at her and make her feel connected to the world. He was like a sapling of pure honesty that had taken root in Makuro's heart. But by the time she had realized that, the tree had already rotted. As Mukuro struggled to understand the situation, Monokuma let out a sigh and said, I wonder which part of you is a wolf anyway. You're just a dog that blindly follows Junko's orders. Bark like a dog. What does the tattoo on your hand even mean? Are you just a bitch who's pledged her loyalty to her owner? Whose bitch do you even want to be? I bet Toko would say that, I'm positive. Monokuma continued to talk as Mukuro stood in confusion. I was obviously lying when I said Makoto's blood type is B. I can't believe you would be so stupid. What? Cried Junko. You lied, Junko? Come on, Mukuro. God, you're stupid. I like you. Ugh. A normal person would have been suspicious. I never thought you'd actually believe me just now. I must have misplaced my eyes, because I totally did not see that coming. Not even with my ability to predict the future. And I am actually right. 30% of the time. Morphogenetics fields. How shocking. Jeez, I'm about to start crying my eyes out like some sort of robot cat. Seriously. It's going to be okay, Junko, said Mukuro. I know our plan kind of fell apart, but I'm still on your side. Are you feeling all right? Because I'll do anything. Snap! A harsh sound came from Monokuma's mouth. That sound was one of my circuits overloading. It's been so long since I felt this angry. Meet me on the roof of the school. I'll smash out all your baby teeth! Monokuma started shadowboxing in front of Mukuro, who remained frozen in place, clutching a blood pack in her hand. She still looked confused, and Monokuma threw up his arms in frustration. You're so disappointed I can't even predict it anymore! Roar! Hey, boo-boo. A threatening roar burst from Monokuma's mouth as he leapt at Mukuro with his sharp claws extended. Oh god, he's a fucking head crab. At that moment, her face began completely emotionless. It was not a conscious action. The defensive instinct she honed during her time with Fenrir temporarily suppressed her emotions as she countered Monokuma's attack. Makoto's blood type is A? Yeah, I mean, goddamn it, Mukuro, you're supposed to be smart, but just, oh man, it's like, she's one of those characters where it's like, you know, smart in certain areas, dumb when it comes to common sense / social stuff, I would assume. So, defensive instincts, Fenrir temporarily suppressed her emotion as she countered Monokuma's attack. Mukuro grabbed a nearby IV stand and used it to parry Monokuma's claws. However, Monokuma's claws seemed to be made with a special alloy and easily sliced the bar in half diagonally. I am the best at what I do! But instead of following up his attack, Monokuma continued talking to Mukuro. I guess you're not much of a disappointment when it comes to fighting. Okay. Let me just... A lot of reading, y'all. Delicious. In fact, if you were so pathetic that you died from that single attack, it would have been interesting in its own way. But right now, you're just as incompetent at everything. I'm sorry, said Mukuro. I couldn't help but blocking your attack. But there's no way I can fight you, Junko. After all, I'm all you have. I'm the only one who understands you at all. Mukuro's words were riddled with endless dismay. The contrast between her usual stoic self and the way she was acting now was so stark. People might assume that she had multiple personalities. Stark, wolf, get it? Ha! However, Monokuma just squarely stared at her. He was perfectly still, as if all his functions had powered down completely. Yeah, this is basically just like bedtime story with Kevin Go. When's whatchamacallit, competitive puking with Kevin Go later on. But Mukuro continued to share her feelings. There's no way I can just leave you alone. And then Monokuma broke his silence. But at that moment, a monitor in the nurse's office lit up, displaying a girl's face, Junko Enoshima. At that same time, a voice completely unlike Monokuma's began to play from the speakers. Hey, Mukuro! Junko! It had been several days since Mukuro had heard her sister's real voice. Though her face remained emotionless, excitement sparkled in her eyes. However, that shine immediately dulled. I'm grateful to you, Mukuro. I mean it. Junko's voice emanating from the speakers sounded very gentle and kind, totally. Junko? I'm really sorry. I said so many mean things to you. I even tried to kill you earlier, and I was about to make you do something horrible just now. And even though I know about your feelings towards Makoto, you don't have to force yourself. Even if you didn't notice, it was totally obvious to anyone looking at you. By the way, guys, behind the text box, if you see by the computer on the billboard, those X-ray scans. Hey, look, Ryoma took a picture of his butt and crotch. Anyway, you never cared about the class photos, but when Makoto said he was going to take one, you made sure you were facing the camera. What a slut! You're a slut. Ugh, such a slut for Makoto. An even bigger slut. And then Junko Enoshima, the ultimate despair, flashed a smile. A pure, sweet smile. Unphotoshopped, unaltered smile. On the monitor, she looked like a normal high school fucking girl teasing her older sister. And yet Mukuro could feel despair and anxiety encasing themselves around her. I always thought, I'm doing my best mom impersonation. I always thought you should have tried hard to take pictures with Makoto. But I guess that's what makes you so disappointing. Just fucking Mukuro just had nothing to say. Still, even though you're disappointing and annoying, like, I still love you. Mukuro trembled upon hearing those words. I love you. That's all she ever wanted to hear her sister say. Mukuro believed. No matter what Junko said, she believed she really loved her. She believed that she was the only one who could truly understand the despair known as Junko Enoshima. She was naive. As soon as she heard Junko say, I love you, Mukuro realized she never completely understood her sister. It was only at this moment that Mukuro finally understood her sister's feelings. Junko's words right now were kind. Perhaps that kindness was completely honest. The words, I love you, might have been true as well. However, for Junko Enoshima, this was her way of saying goodbye. She was severing the ties between them. It was painfully clear to Mukuro. And then, before she could even say anything, the girl on the monitor made a remark that cut Mukuro to the bone. I'm sure someday you'll make your dreams come true. Ultimate despairs never talk to each other like this. A simple truth stabbed into Mukuro's heart. Junko had no further use for her. Her own sister was parting ways with her. Mukuro had dedicated over 10 years of her life to the cause of ultimate despair, and at this moment it all counted for nothing. But those years no longer mattered to Mukuro. Her sister's rejection was more than enough to send her into the depths of despair. That's why Mukuro, even now, clung to a small sliver of hope. Meanwhile, Junko was still on the monitor. Yeah, right. Like, did you really think I'd say something that nice? God, what a dumb slut. You're a slut. Slutty slut. Oh, Junko. You're so annoying. Like, can't you just hurry up and disappear already? Fucking Mukuro hoped Junko would say something like that. She hoped that... She hoped that she'd start verbally abusing her again, or call her useless and incompetent. Wow, Mikan. Mukuro was no masochist, but she preferred to be showered with bullets and contempt than endure this kind of emotional pain. But... I love you, Mukuro. Bye-bye. Yas, Mukuro Queen. The monitor went black, leaving Mukuro to process the horrible goodbye she just received. As if on cue, Monokuma started moving again. Isn't family love so nice? By the way, did you know that in about half of murder cases, the killer is a family member? Monokuma spoke in his usual tone of voice, but it was unclear if his words were getting through to Mukuro. Mukuro let the blood pack in her hand fall to the floor and tightened her grip on the iron bar she was still holding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Junko, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. She mumbled quietly, as if she were chanting a spell, and walked past the blood pack on the floor to Makoto's bedside with the iron bar in her hands. Just fucking flops on his face. I'll do it properly. She sits on Makoto's fucking body, just like starts contemplating, has a conversation with Monokuma. They both settle. So tell me what's on your mind. I'll do it properly. I'll make sure I do it. Oh, said Monokuma, pricking up. What are you gonna do properly to Makoto with that big thick rod you got there? Are you gonna do him? Or are you gonna do him in? Either way, I'm starting to feel some heart-throbbing excitement! Mukuro looked like she had been completely broken. Monokuma walked closer to her with eager anticipation. Suddenly, Monokuma's body suddenly floated into the air. Huh? Gravity! What are you doing? With no expression on his face, Monokuma tried to see what just happened to him. And in the blink of an eye, an iron bar ripped through his body! The tip of the bar, which had been cut diagonally earlier into a sharp point, went straight through Monokuma and stabbed into the surveillance camera. The lens was completely destroyed and the camera shot out sparks as it broke down. The iron bar was still stabbed into the surveillance camera as Monokuma dangled from the other end, violent as fuck. He opened his mouth as to say something, but only static came out. A few seconds later, his functions came to a complete stop. Without making a sound at all, Mukuro had kicked Monokuma into the air. Epic indeed, yo. As soon as Monokuma's power source and his bomb circuit had perfectly aligned with the surveillance camera in nurse's office, Mukuro plunged the iron bar into all three of them. No normal person has the skill to utilize such a technique. Not even an ultimate. All the hesitation within Mukuro had vanished. Her eyes sparkled like a panther stalking its prey at night. A tense aura surrounded Mukuro, even more so than when she fought Sakura earlier. Ignoring Monokuma's lifeless form, she looked at Makoto as he breathed softly and remembered her sister's parting words. So this is despair, she mumbled to herself. I'm so sorry, Junko. Never really understood what despair was. She spoke without emotion, like a machine. But it's going to be alright now. I finally understand. And within her, passions began to stir. So, I'll make sure I make you happy, Junko. I'll make sure I fill you with despair. I'll save Makoto. I'll make sure the others don't die. I'll let them escape from this place. I'll deal with the people on the outside too. You invested so much time and killed so many people for the sake of this plan, and I'll destroy every last remnant of it for you. This was not an act of vengeance towards the sister that abandoned her. This was an act of mercy. Struck between the ultimate despair and the hope she gained from Makoto, Mukuro was being refined into something that was unlike despair or hope. And she had no way of knowing where her path would lead. Jesus Christ, how many fucking... Oh boy, like, goddamn, this... I don't think it goes by chapters, I think it's just like one long story. Well, we're gonna insert a bookmark here. Coolio. So, I think we're gonna stop here for today and continue next time, which should be Thursday. Thursday, probably around the same time, and... Oh, no, we're not doing Thursday. We're gonna do Friday. That's right, I'm taking a break on Thursday. But Friday, we're gonna come back to this, and maybe we'll finish it up. We'll definitely get far with it. We'll see. But there's still more. How much more until it... have you played this before? Number? If you have, just then tell me. If there is more to go, and there's an end of a chapter, tell me. We'll continue with this, and then finish off there. But yeah, so far I'm really liking... Well, first off, nostalgia for Danganronpa 1's flowing back through me. It's really... Oh man, it's a great feeling, yo. I'm liking getting back into this, you know? I mean, Danganronpa 1 had all of its faults, all of its character kind of whatever, but I don't know, just it's I don't know, looking back on it, it's pretty cool. Remember what, I mean, it's the series that got me into this fucking series, it's the game that got me into the series in the first place, so I mean, obviously I have some notional
connection with it. And then, yeah, just, I never cared about Mukuro before, but she was always kind of like a meme to me. Like, I always say, what the fuck is a Makura? I mean, even fucking other games didn't acknowledge her as that. So, with that, I mean, you know, like, she's interesting so far. She's both stoic, and she's also, but, like, she's a step forward smiler in a way, where it's like, you'd think that she's stoic, like Kirigiri, like, you know, on the outside, but, like, you know, she's like a multitude of emotions on the inside, which can lead to like she's kind of a mess on the inside. Like, she's also very like codependent in a way, so it's like, I don't know, I want to see her overcome all that, and like I want to see where she goes. Like, she can definitely go somewhere, like definitely be like one of my favorite characters. Has potential for sure, so like I want to see where it goes. And then, been a while since you've seen this, been looking at this, a little more going from here, so be prepared for that. So then number, does it mean that I can stop here, or like there's a little bit more until like we get to an end of the chapter, and then from that we can stop it? Like, basically, is this a good stopping point, or will there be another stopping point soon that I should stop on? In the meantime, I also saw that a lot of people joined the Discord, so let me just take a gander at that. Oh man, I've been going a little while, so I'm kind of out of that. Kenderpy, yo yo yo. Alright. Devinators for Stellar. Alright, thanks y'all for joining the Discord. I'll post another link again. But yeah, thanks guys for joining on in. We'll have fun next time as well. This is a good stopping point. Okay, coolio. So yeah. Well, first off, here's the link to the Discord. Join if you haven't. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, join if you haven't. Get updates on videos when I stream. Different things of the like. Fun hangout place as well in general, so that's cool. Thanks everyone for watching. This is Kevin Go, as you know, probably know, blah blah blah. Leave a like, comment, press the bell, of course, to get notifications directly to your phone, because YouTube's a fickle bitch. And yeah, next time we come back, we'll be playing more Danganronpa, if Mukuro's story, and then also tomorrow, for all y'all on the stream right now, we're gonna move on, or like play some No More Fucking Heroes, which, one of my favorite games. That shit should be fun. And maybe Monster High too, because fun stuff, stupidness. But yeah. Ask me the question. Yeah, I'll still be around a little bit, Devin. So yeah, feel free to shoot. I'll tell you there or in the Discord. But yeah. Thanks again, guys. This is Kevin Go, signing out. Take care.